I did want to ask you, Angelina, because you described playing this woman as, playing a broken character who has to learn to stand back up, and that's part of her healing.
Take a deep breath. Hold it. And lay back.
I wonder, at the time you decided to take on this role, why was this part something that really spoke to you and made you want to dive in?
Well, we all have times in our lives where we feel broken. And I was in a period like that. It's been, I've had my share of things that have made me feel, hard to speak too much about it, but just overwhelmed or broken. And so to be kind of, to have an opportunity, I feel very lucky. I wish all women could have this at times in their lives. All people could have this when you go. I've had it many times in my life. When my mom passed away, I did want it. It's part of something that when you feel like you just want to kind of hide under the covers, or you're not sure what you've got left in you, you get an opportunity. And I would encourage anybody to do it. You're not a film actor, doesn't matter. Go somewhere, see what you got in you, put yourself against the elements, or try something you've never tried, and kind of try to rediscover that strength within.
It's smart. You had to find some way, some outlet to bring you back to a place. So now, what do you anchor your self-worth in now?
What do I anchor my self-worth in?
Yeah.
Oh, my use to others. I think that's always been, or certainly since being a parent, but I think before then, just, contribution. I think that's what I try to tell my kids. It's not, you can try a bit of this, you can do this with your life or that, but at the end of the day, what's your contribution? What's your contribution to others?
Yeah, I love that.
My dad said, if anything happened, I should find someone I could trust. Are you someone I can trust?
So how easily did you two bond, maybe off screen, or some of the things you did to really kind of feel that trust with each other on screen?
Well, we would hang out some weekends, whether it was going airsofting or stuff like that. But I feel like we just had a good relationship on set because we were working with each other quite often. We just sort of got comfortable with each other and went from there.
Yeah, wait, what was that airsofting?
Airsofting.
What is that?
It's like paintball, except it's these little plastic pellets, and we did it on one weekend with Angie and her kids, and just hurts a bunch, but just heaps of fun.
Okay, let's talk about Angelina like she's not in the room. How good is she at airsofting? And did she go down first, or was she one of the last people standing?
I think I did pretty good.
You did really good. You did really good.
She was all right. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you were good.
Angelina, just hearing this actually makes me think, how tough was it for you to go back for this character to channel those pre-mama days, those pre-nurturing days, those because a lot of what you do is being the woman that you are and being the mother that you are to your kids. So how hard was it for you to go back to, that person before this whole life that you've had?
Well, yes, it wasn't just that she doesn't have kids, or she doesn't really know, or I'm not even sure she likes kids. So it was really funny to be with somebody who had, that was the biggest note I got from Taylor, stop being you're being too nice to him. You're being too sympathetic. You're being too right. So then, different things like the dad to trip you, and tripping a kid is just such a weird feeling. But then, you get into it. But, her language around him, it was weird at first, and then it was oddly freeing because Finn was so tough and so fun, so it made it easy for me to kind of be really weird with him and beat him up a little bit and be strange, and he knew it was okay. A different kid might have got his feelings hurt or found me really weird, but he found it funny. So
he had to throw a couple of F-bombs your way too. So.
Oh yeah, he can hold his own.
So I want to ask this to both of you. Finn, I'll start with you. How good of a survivalist are you? And are you better now after doing this film than you think you were before?
Yeah, I think I'm an all right survivalist. But I definitely think I got better during this film. Because I sort of got to learn a bit more about the terrain of New Mexico where we shot.
Yeah.
And learn a bit more about the nature on set, and because we were out in the wilderness a lot while filming. So I definitely learned a lot about the country and the state.
Angelina, when I look at you, I do feel like you're a woman who can hold her own. But what do you think about a survivalist, and how good would you think you have been before and now after you did this movie?
I think I picked up some things. I got better at my wood chopping and my fire starting and my rappelling.
Finn, let me ask you, because Angelina was talking about that moment when she had to trip you in the film. So how broken and beaten up did you come out of this film? Because I know everybody had to have some rough moments.
Yeah, there were a few. It wasn't anything too bad with, stunts like that. It was mainly just minor scratches, bruises, maybe a twisted ankle. That was all. That was
maybe a twisted ankle? That's not a little bit.
I think pelted with wood chips from the helicopter was one of our.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't intentional, but that was one of the weirdest.
Yeah, sitting under a helicopter in a scene and just the debris from it was cool, but hard. Cool but hard.
We ended up in a weird hailstorm together.
What about you, Angelina? Because I love seeing you in an action film. I love seeing you kick butt, for real.
Thank you.
For real. So what about you? What was maybe the toughest day for you physically?
God, I don't know. I think the water was fun though, but it was, I think, the holding the breath, the trying to figure that out, or the fire. But that was also kind of fun. I do love an action movie, I think, and I do love to so it's not as hard. Sitting still is hard for me.